Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my family's potato salad. So there's a bunch of different potato salads out there and they're all probably pretty good, but this one's definitely our all-time favorite and we've been making it forever. And it's just perfect for those hot summer days where you don't want something too filling, and it's also perfect as a side for barbecues. Now, I usually make a pretty big batch because we like to keep it in the fridge and just eat it whenever we're hungry for a couple of days. So take that into consideration and you might want to just half the recipe. Well, that being said, let's get into it. So I've got about 12 medium-sized potatoes. So when you're picking your potatoes, you do want to make sure that they are around the same size so that they cook around at the same time. You're also going to need 1 onion, 2 apples, about 8 pickles. This is our favorite pickle to use, and we also use a little bit of the pickle juice as well. You're also going to need a good splash of vinegar, some salt and pepper, a little bit of mayonnaise, and around 250 to 500 milliliters of pre-boiled water. Yes, it is important to pre-boil your water and then just leave it in there to cool down for a little bit. I don't know why, it's just how we do it. I feel like if I wasn't going to do this, it would just ruin the whole potato salad, so I feel like there's definitely a reason why we do it. I just don't understand. But yes, boil your water, leave it in the kettle, and then you're good. Now the first thing we need to do is boil our potatoes. Now you don't want to peel them because once they're boiled, we're just going to remove the skin. So I'm just going to divide this into 2 pots and then boil them for 20 to 30 minutes or until they're completely cooked through. Now while the potatoes are boiling, we can already go ahead and chop up our pickles, apples, and onion. And I'm also going to be peeling my apple just because I don't want like a hard peel in my potato salad. And I'm basically just going to add it all into a nice big mixing bowl or tupper, just to save dishes because I don't want to put it into a nice serving bowl because I'm basically just going to transfer it into this to put it into the fridge anyways. Now I usually run my onions under some cold water. Apparently that's supposed to make you not cry as much while you're cutting them. But if I do start crying, it's because of the onions. up, we can basically add everything else except for our boiled water and our potatoes. So I've got around half a cup of our pickle water. So I'm going to add that first. Now, if you don't want to use any of your pickle water, just use a little bit more vinegar to get kind of the same flavor. And I'm also going to add a good splash of vinegar all over. That's maybe like 2 tablespoons. Now, because the vinegar and the pickle water is already kind of salty and acidic, I don't want to add too much salt at this point, but I am going to add like a good sprinkle, maybe like a teaspoon. As well as some fresh cracked pepper. And I also found some frozen chives that we still have from last summer. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that in as well. And you can add just about any herbs that you want. Parsley would also work really well. And now to the mayonnaise. Now, some people don't really like mayonnaise that much. I tend to add like a medium amount. I don't like it when it's too mayonnaise-y. So I'm going to add 1 really big tablespoon, another one. It's like about a cup of mayonnaise. And we're going to give this one good mix. I'm just gonna cover this and then put it into the fridge while I wait for my potatoes to be all done. Once the potatoes were all cooked through, I just drained the water and let them cool off for about half an hour. So they're still pretty hot, but I'm impatient, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start peeling them. So I'm just going to use a simple knife and just very gently peel the outer layer of the potato away. And then we're basically just going to slice all the potatoes up. To do is add both of these together and add most of our water as well and give it a really good mix. also give it a taste and see if you need to add any more salt, pepper, vinegar, or anything else. But basically all we have to do is cover this and put it into the fridge for at least a couple of hours, but ideally overnight. And basically what's going to happen is the starches from the potato are going to turn this soup-like sauce that we have here into a nice thick potato salad. And that's exactly what you want. So it does take some time, so the longer you leave it in the fridge, it'll start thickening up more. So this is why we usually make this the day before and then we eat it the next day. But it still tastes good on the same day, but it tastes better the next day. So I'm actually going to add a little bit more vinegar, just a good splash, about like that, and mix it in. Now I'm pretty happy with how mine is tasting, so I'm just going to cover this and put it into the fridge and see you in a couple of hours. It's the next day, so let's give our potato salad a good mix and see if it's thickened up. So most of the water has thickened up, but there's still enough in there that it's still a little bit saucy, which is personally how I like my potato salad. So I think this is a win. So I'm just going to put some in my bowl and enjoy it.